Hey there, everybody. This video is our Greenleaf Season 5 trailer analysis and first reaction. If you did not know, on Twitter today, the official account for the show posted a first look at the trailer, and there is a lot in 2 minutes here. It feels like they actually gave us almost a huge chunk of like an episode storyline and just crammed it all in, and my head kept just like darting in all these different directions.
Yeah, they really crammed a lot in here, and I'm really thankful for it because a lot of times we get like a 30-second and they don't really tell you anything of what to expect, but they put in some pretty serious storylines in here, stuff we already knew from how last season ended, but some new stuff to talk about. It was good.
Yeah, and we have a lot of different things to dive into, including the mystery man, the fact that Bob and Judy still suck, which is not a surprise to anyone, whether or not we're gonna see the Greenleafs establish their own church now. Are we getting a happy ending? Well, we'll get into all of this. Before we do, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because as Greenleaf premieres, we're going to have all sorts of coverage for you, and we don't want you to miss any of it.
So I want to start on something that you just mentioned. Are we going to get a happy ending? And they put something in this trailer that makes me think that we're going to get a happy ending, but it's not going to be the happy ending that we might think it's going to be. Now, we know that H&H is going to tear down this church and is going to build up a new one, and the Greenleafs are out pretty much. So we had this moment where we saw Bishop and May go to Mavis's old bar and start to talk about starting again and starting their own church again, sort of right from the beginning. And I kind of wonder if we're leading towards them not saving the church, that, you know, it happens and H&H is going to come in, take it over, and that's going to be that. But that the happy ending is going to be that we're going to see Bishop and May back sort of to the beginning. You know, we saw them talking a little bit about getting remarried again and all that sort of stuff. Could that be the happy ending that we're moving towards? I'd be all right with that.
If I'm being totally honest, I would actually rather them do that than them be able to get the old church back, because I think there is something to be said about the idea of just starting from the ground floor and starting in a place where things are just more upfront and honest and sort of straight-laced among everyone, because we've already seen, especially with Bishop Greenleaf, this is a man who had a lot of skeletons in his closets and somebody who has been through a lot, and I just think there would be something very just fulfilling and very much, there's almost a purity in starting from scratch and new beginnings, and these are ideas that are spoken about a lot in scripture. And if Greenleaf is going to kind of have those biblical notes in the final season, why not embrace this?
Yeah, and especially also, I mean, we saw tons of different images of sort of family and them crying and also happiness and hugging and all this stuff that's going on. The fact that they're in Mavis's old bar tells me that there's more family healing coming up. Maybe not necessarily with Mavis, but something more.
I do like the fact that this trailer, it does sort of seem to reference that we're getting a lot of people who we haven't necessarily seen every season or every episode, but you know, there's Darius makes another appearance, not all that regular, somebody who we saw all the time in season 4. You know, Rochelle is back. I don't know if that's really good news, but she's there.
Probably not.
Yeah, but there are a lot of characters from the first 4 seasons, and you sort of get the sense that the producers were thinking, you know, if this is the end, we're gonna remind you of the journey that you've been on all this time.
Yeah, because we also saw Noah for a second there. You know, we saw Jacob go to Tasha, and we saw him asking about Basie, who's a name we haven't heard in a little while as well. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how all of this is going to play in. Is he trying to find Basie and kind of bring that back because maybe they're going to get together to try to take down H&H, or is this all going to come together with the new project that's going on with Bishop and May?
I'm really excited because I legitimately think that they're not going to just let us down entirely. I think we're going to have a huge H&H comeuppance. I am really looking forward to the downfall of Bob and Judy with every fabric of my being. It's going to be great.
Yeah, my hope is that we are going to see Bishop and May starting their own church and sort of starting from the ground up, but that they are going to find a way to also screw over H&H and that they are going to get their comeuppance.
Yes, please. Okay, well, let's talk about the big mystery, because this is at the end of season 4. We see this man show up by Grace while she's at the gravesite, and he seems to know a lot about her, and we sort of talked a little bit about this in our previous video, but it seems, at least based on a newspaper, if nothing else, that we have analyzed an unhealthy amount of times, that this character does have some sort of role to play in season 5.
Yeah, in this trailer we had a cut of him in this newspaper with like a headline that says like, local drugstore cowboy gunned down somebody in front of another pharmacy. It could be either way. Either he has been gunned down or he has gunned somebody down. So we see him back in play again. We see Grace being like, who is he? And then a cut to AJ, which is still feeding into my idea that this guy is the actual AJ, and that maybe the AJ we've seen throughout the show already just kind of fell into the idea of like, oh, she thinks I'm AJ, all right, I'll play along and see where it goes, and then guilt and all this other stuff's coming down on him.
There's something so kind of psychological about this that I find really fascinating, whether it is that we had an imposter AJ, or that these two have some sort of bizarre connection that we don't really know about, or that this person, I really wondered as to whether or not this person was really actually even real, but the fact that there is a newspaper clipping showing him suggests he probably is real, and I don't think they're probably screwing with my mind to that degree, but I do sort of wonder, you're bringing in another character in addition to all of the other regulars you have to satisfy, and all of these other people from past seasons. There's not that much time left. Where are they going to fit in?
Okay, we gotta talk about the charity of it all, because I legit thought that after everything that happened with Phil and how she got screwed over and got her comeuppance, that she would have learned something from this, but she has not. It seems like going into this new trailer, it seems that Charity has learned nothing, that she's gonna be still vying for this position of AP in the H&H, in the H&H church. She hasn't really figured out that the family is really where she needs to be. There was a really important scene in the finale where we had May talking to her when she came in and kind of was trying to lie to her about what was going on with Phil and all the things that she was doing, where May basically said that if you hurt one member of the family, you are hurting yourself. You are hurting everybody. We are all the same family, sort of thing. So Charity's sort of unhealthy relationship with Grace and wanting to take her down and being like, oh, I'm just hurting Grace, I'm not hurting you. That idea is, where you've got May saying that is not the way that this is. We are all together. You hurt Grace, you hurt me, you hurt yourself. She has learned nothing from this speech. She has learned nothing from what happened with Phil, and she is still in there. Now, is there that little tiny piece of me that's maybe thinking that she's kind of undercover for the family? It's so small, and I'd like to think that maybe that's what she's trying to do to try to help with the comeuppance of H&H and the comeuppance of Phil and everything that happened, but I just don't believe in Charity.
Charity just needs to see the light. I don't know who's going to show her the light, but I think she just needs to realize that they are just using her. They're basically going to put her up there as sort of a figurehead to sort of say, look, everybody, here is a Greenleaf. It's kind of like it's the old church that you had, but really it's not. And I think she's not seeing the forest through the trees right now. I hope that something crazy is going on here and that the trailer is trying to trick us and all that, but...
I don't know, because, I mean, we did also have that scene where Bob was in front of the congregation, putting down the Greenleafs, being, oh, we got rid of those terrible Greenleafs, and now we're moving into this new future here. But we also have charity, so I don't know where Bob is going with all this.
I really wanted somebody to boo Bob in the middle of that. Like, how awesome would that have been? Just one person, boo! I would have booed Bob.
We're booing him from home.
Yeah, I know. I would have booed Bob if I was there. But Bob is a great hateable villain. That's why it's era Bob. It's always good to have somebody you just hate, and it's just fun to rail on them, and I'm sure we'll do that throughout a lot of the season. But I think... overall, the other thing that really sticks out to me from all of this is Jacob and the relationship turmoil for this man. I do not... Jacob is probably the person I have the least overall confidence in having some sort of happy ending, just because nothing ever seems to actually work out for Jacob Greenleaf.
Yeah, and they did throw out the divorce word. I mean, we don't know if that's really where they're going to go. I mean, near the end, they kind of start having flashes of words like, you know, faith and hope and all these sort of things, forgiveness, and then showing the two of them. So are they really going to get divorced? I actually feel like they're not. I mean, they have been through infidelity before, and they've been able to get through it together. I think that once Jacob gets past his pride and all of this, that they will find a way to work it out. I have faith in them. They've been through this, and they got through it.
I have some faith. I'm not 100% there. I'm not 100% sure that they will actually give each other happiness in the end anyway.
They may not.
They have been such a mess for so long. But at least we don't have to wait that much longer. Greenleaf will be back in a matter of weeks, and we will be back to discuss it further. But what did you guys think about this Season 5 trailer? What questions do you have? Do you want to boo Bob? All right, let us know in the comments. And if you do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.